Hey gang, this is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad and marketing gunslinger. Thanks for joining me again this week on my weekly Uncopyable Ramblings video. And we just had an election. We have a new president. How about that? And what that means is that for about half of you, you're very, very happy. And about half of you are very, very unhappy. Well, actually, if you're like me, and it's not important who I voted for, but frankly, my position was that I was not going to be happy either way. So we'll see. But here's the big. There's a big lesson here, and then I want to just make a comment about the election, and not from a political perspective, but from a business perspective. But the big thing for me was that, you know what, experts were wrong.
But I want you to know that I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong.
All those experts, all those people who were out there doing polls and doing modeling and everything, they were wrong.
Wrong.
That is.
I mean, they were not just a little bit wrong. They were so far wrong that it's actually not funny.
Samsonite. I was way off.
It's actually not funny because, when we got into the night of the election and my smoking hot wife, Kay, and I were sitting there watching the returns as they started to come in, we were switching back and forth between all the channels. And all the different channels were just basically, already giving it to Hillary, right? And because all of the polls said that she was going to win. All of the experts said she was going to win. And this is something that I have said over and over again for many, many years. And that is that you've got to be very, very careful about listening to an expert who says, I know the answer. This is the answer. This is the way. This is the only way to do something. And that's what, and I really, really have problem with any expert that is like that. And in fact, I have a philosophy about experts who are like that. And that is that if there are experts and there are, there's information out there, but in particular, if there are experts who are saying, this is the only way to do something, and this is the right way to do it. It's, my information is accurate, and so therefore this is the right way to do it. Turn and run away from that person as fast as you possibly can. I practice a philosophy of, look, I'm going to share with you what I have learned and what works for me and works for my clients. It's taken me a long time. I've been consulting and speaking for 30 years now, but I was in business for, long before that, in sales and marketing in the real world, in the real world. I am a professional speaker. But in spite of that, and in spite of learning this, of course I went through made a lot of mistakes. Someday I should just tell you about my most famous mistake of all. But, but one of the things that I learned was that there are many roads to the top of the mountain. Many roads to the top of the mountain. And if we did learn anything last week in that election, that was that there was another road to the top of the mountain for Trump. And it was not the typical road. It was not the road that everybody thought was going to happen. Pretty much all the big experts on TV said that his road was going to end before it got to the top of the mountain. But he found another road. So pay attention to that lesson, that there are many roads to the top of the mountain. And even as I share my philosophy with you and what I've learned over the years, just remember that this is my road. Okay. I think it can work for you. But if you find a road that you prefer to take and it works for you, have at it. Absolutely have at it. So that's the business lesson. Okay. The other quick lesson that not lesson, but comment that I want to make about this is that, there's a lot of gnashing of teeth, renting of clothes, and, things like that going on. People are flagellating themselves and, with chains and whips and stuff like that over the result of this. And it would have been the same way. We would have heard the same thing if Hillary had won as well. But ultimately, ask yourself the question, how much does the government actually impact your life on a broad scale as well as on a daily scale? How much does it really impact you? And from my perspective, I would say that certainly from mine and from the vast majority of people that I know, the people that I consult for, the small business people, the trade associations, the marketers, and people like that, the government has a little bit of influence, has a little bit of impact, but ultimately we control our destiny. We control our destiny. And I would venture to say that if the government has a huge impact on your personal life, then you might want to review what you're doing. I mean, the worst thing to do is not have control of your life. But I suspect that the vast majority of people who are watching this and who follow me, my BFFs, you do have control over your life. This is you make your world what you want it to be, and you can go out and be successful. And you can be upset about what happened with the elections, and be unhappy and work to change in the future. But ultimately, today, tomorrow, the next day, all those, you have to get up and you have to go to work and you have to do your best job to take care of yourself. And so we have to take that responsibility. We have to take that responsibility. Don't get all wigged out because we have a new president. It doesn't matter what you think about him, and we have Senate and Congress that are Republicans as well. And you can't really say that President-elect Trump is a Republican because he had so much conflict with them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I mean, he can either do a great job, he can do a terrible job, or he can just do a so-so job. How much does each one of those affect you? And I think that's the question you have to ask yourself, is just put your nose to the grindstone, get out there and do your job. Okay? So many roads to the top of the mountain, and take responsibility for your life and your own destiny. And I will say this, God bless America. Thanks for watching. This is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad, marketing gunslinger. If you like this, please share, please comment. Feel free to comment and let me know what you think. Email me, put a comment below, and share with all of your political friends. What the heck? Why not? And I will see you next week. And in the meantime, always remember, be uncopyable.